All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak. And we give double honor to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders of great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahbashim Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Let's jump right into this lesson. The title of this lesson is The Covenant is Probated. All right, the covenant is probated. So this has been in the Rolodex for a little bit. So call Allah Yahbashim Yahshai for allowing me to be able to do this lesson and go into it, because I had mentioned probate in passing. Certain things you'll come up, and the Spirit had me look up what the word probate means. We're in probate. You Israelites, I'm talking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that believe in this truth, that have been convinced, that have been wholly convinced in their mind. This is the time that we're in. We're in that probate period. It's a legal term, and I'm getting ready to get it. But this is a very heavy thing because it's not including with everybody else. This is a legal document, if you want to say the most. A covenant or a covenant is it's just like saying a contract, covenant, contract. It's almost the same type of thing. When the Lord made a covenant with Israel, he made a contract. He said, you do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. If you do D, B, if you do ABC, then I'm going to do ABC. So it was a contract that was given to our forefathers. Now we are the ones that are getting it through osmosis, because Yahweh Shemi Shah doesn't deal with supposedly just one lifetime, multiple lifetimes, because men come back in their reincarnation, just like in the time of Solomon and Yahushai. Okay, when Yahushai came to Solomon on the planet Earth, because he even said it himself, he says, here's one that's greater than Solomon. Why did he say that? He wasn't disrespecting Solomon, because he was Solomon and coming back. And he said, I'm better than I was before. Just like anything grows, anything gets better, everything gets stronger, everything gets more palatable. So what Yahushua was saying was, I'm better than Solomon. I am Solomon, but I'm better than Solomon because I learned from my mistakes. So the same thing as us, we are coming back in our reincarnation, and we've learned from our mistakes. The elect have learned. The 144,000 and the 1/3 have gained the experience points to graduate to this next level, which is coming to what? That deliverance and establishment of the kingdom of heaven, which belongs to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So let's read the word. What is probate? Probate. It says probate is the legal process of administering administering and distributing a deceased person's estate. So what estate is that? Because we are getting the estate from Abraham all the way back to the father of faith. The Lord told Abraham that I would set thy seed as the stars of heaven. Abraham went into the spirit world. He was deceased, but Abraham came back in the reincarnation, and he lived the life out, but he came back as an Israelite. Okay, Israelites were the same thing where you would go back to the Adamites. Okay, the Adamites were a son. They called them the sons of God. All right, the sons of God was that establishment of what you see today as Israelites, because if things reincarnated, it goes all the way back to the Garden of Eden. That's where we go and get our roots back from. Okay, it's not just this lifetime, it's lifetimes prior, and we're living at that now. So because before Israel, okay, which you call Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So now we have the saying of the title of Israelites, Yah Shur Allah. He is the prince of the power. It says probate is a legal process of administering and distributing of deceased person's estate or property. It involves court approval of a will. And what is the approval? That's the approval from Yahweh. That's the approval for the will that came by the way of Yahushai. Okay? And it says paying debts and taxes and distributing the remaining assets to heirs. Probate can include validating a will, proving in court the deceased will is valid, in what does that say? Inventorying property. What's that? The land of Israel. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you were promised a piece of land, even going to the Israelite foreigners, those that were outcasts. They were promised a piece of land when they came back in, if they wanted it. So that has never changed. So the same thing now is that we are those outcasts, and we're coming back to our birthright and our heritage, and saying that we believe through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why it says, by the Spirit that we believe that we are the sons of God. Okay? The Spirit bear witness, so it's not something we can prove tangibly because we've been taken down. We've been dispersed. We've been destroyed. We've been raped, robbed, and murdered. Slaves don't have records, man. If a slave don't got clothes on his back, what makes you think he's gonna have records of all of his history, his timeline, and to show you where he came from? You're not gonna have that. You're gonna have whatever is around you at the time. But Yahweh Shem Yahshua is really giving the truth, knowledge, and wisdom back to those that are inheritors of the kingdom to come. Okay, what does it say that they be though he be tutors, though he be under tutors, he will be heir over all, because the elect are being tutored right now and being put into the position to be what? Inheritors of the kingdom to come, which is the planet Earth and creation itself. It says, proving in court. And what's court? This is truth. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the court. That's why the Lord is known as the judge. Yahweh is known as the judge. And witnesses. What did it say? Witnesses. Why I say in Revelation the witnesses? When do you need a witness? You need a witness when you go into a court appearance, or somebody that witnessed the crime, they witnessed the situation that took place, and they can speak on it. Okay? So the witnesses of Yahshua, which are the prophets, have witnessed unto Jake, and that's why it says, I've sent you unto Israel, stiff-necked people. And the Lord said he made you a prophet to the nations. So the Lord has set the spirit up to go out here, tell these nations what their judgment is, and tell Israelites what their judgment is also too. Okay? It says inventorying property. What's that? The land of Israel and the planet Earth. The gold, silver. That's why it says he shall give it to him that shall pity the poor. All the things that Esau stole, he's not going to enjoy. He's not going to enjoy it. It's going to be transferred and given into the hands of the children of Israel, which are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's not going to be transferred and given unto to a willy-nilly type of person. No. All these riches, the planet Earth itself. That's why the angels and Yahushua is coming to establish a rulership. That means that it's never going to be taken down. The weapons are going to be burnt for the year. Once the kingdom of heaven is established, these nations are going to learn war no more. That means we're going to set the tone on the planet Earth that has never been seen before. All right, it's going to be an adjustment. What it say? An attitude check. It says deceased properties. Probate can include paid debts, settling the deceased debts. And what are we settling? The debts that was left unto us. But that's our debts too, because we are those men, women, and children that are coming back in the reincarnation to serve out that punishment, to serve out that debt collection. That way Yahweh Shem Yahshua can forgive us. That's why Yahweh said, it said, you're going to drink of the cup. We're going to drink of that cup. Slavery. Bondage, slinging on trees, rape, robbed, and murdered, your children being raised under your enemy's land. All those things are part of the cross that we had to bear in the time that we living in, okay? But the main point, probate. Let's see if there's anything else. Hold on.
Probate.
Hold on, right here. It says probate. Establish the validity of a will, and the will goes into a covenant. Let's do this. Let's do this. The word last will and testament is a formal term of a legal document that outlines how a person's property and assets should be distributed after their death. Essentially, it's a document that spells out the person's final wishes regarding their estate. See, will and testament. So the will and testament that goes back into our forefathers, we've been given that, and the Lord has respected it. He hasn't respected our wills and the things that we want. He hasn't respected that. He's respected it through our forefathers and those that he promised, but we are those that are coming back in that reincarnation. So we get that off the osmosis. It says a will or last will, a will and testament is a legal document that describes how you want your property and other assets to be distributed after your death. And Yahushua said it. He says, I go and prepare a place for you. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't tell you these things. So Yahushua was deep into the understanding of Yahushua, into the deep understanding of Yahweh. That's what he told us. He said, man, prepare. Because he's sitting on the right hand of the Heavenly Father, prepared himself to come back into the planet Earth and to extract the rest of the judgment that is written. All right. It says the saints shall take the kingdom. And who's the chief saint? Yahushua himself. So he's going to be the one that's going to lead the battle and the charge into the world to come. That's why the chariots are coming. The what did it say? The battalions, the legions, all those things. There's a war. It's a takeover. It's a hostile takeover. Because Esau's not giving it up easy. And the Lord don't want him to give it up easy. All right? So that's the will and testament. So Yahweh Shai is saying that, look, the will and last will and testament of you Israelites, and the will and the promise is that you will inherit the kingdom of heaven and you will inherit the planet Earth and creation itself. That's why it says that wait upon me and you shall renew your strength. We're going to renew our strength because there's new bodies that's going to come into play. There's not going to be, and it is going to be an angelical body in an angelical form that's going to be able to take over and go the rest of the way. And it couldn't happen unless everything that you see take place in the earth took place. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, so let's read this. This is the book of Isaiah 40 in verse 2. And it reads, let's get here from the top. It says, Isaiah 40 and verse 2, it says, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem. And that's what this word is. It's a comfortable speaking. That's why it says that come and rest with us. Because once you read these scriptures, you jump into it, you dive into it, you will find rest for your soul. But if you ain't coming in wholeheartedly or halfway, you're not going to find that rest. You're going to find turmoil. You're going to find chaos. Those are the fruits of unbelief. So you're not going to be established in the will of Yahweh Shai in truth. You're going to be established in a wayward way, which is you're eventually going to fall off. Okay? And it says, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished. That means our warfare with the Heavenly Father, which goes back to the time of Moses, which goes back to the time of us breaking the law as a nation that's established in the land of Israel. That's why we were cast out. The Lord can't have it, regardless. Even if it's the wicked, he's going to send lions. He's going to send plagues. He's going to send obstructions to where they won't have a calm and cool life. That's how it's going to go. All right. And it says, this is Isaiah 40 in verse 2. It says, speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received double of the Lord, the hand, hand double for all her sins. So everything that you see taking place, we've received double of what we were supposed to get. Yahweh Shai has given us a double portion of hell, but that double portion of hell is giving us a double portion of patience, double portion of solidarity. Those are the things that you gain from having to go through that. See? Okay. Let's see if there's anything on here. This is Psalms 103 and verse 12. It says, as far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgression from us. So that's why it says it's not even going to be found anymore. The Lord is not going to be able to find the sins that we committed because it's going to be blotted out. It's going to be pushed away. It's going to be almost extinct. But Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to glorify the elect with those new bodies, the new living, the new lifestyle, all those things. That's why we're here, to receive those things. We're not here to receive a corruptible crown. We're here to receive a crown that is incorruptible. Okay? This is Micah 7 and verse 18 to 19. Who is the power like you, who pardons iniquity and passes over the transgression of the remnant of a remnant of his inheritance? And that's what you see. The Lord has claimed us. We're his property. Regardless of what anybody else thinks, is what Yahweh Shem Yahshua has claimed to be his. No one else can say that it's his. He can connect it, reconnect it, do what it needs to do, but to know that we're objects, brothers, few sisters that listen, we're the objects that Yahweh Shem Yahshua is using in these last days to exalt this truth, man. That's why it says, I should give you passages according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. See? Lamentations 3 and 22 to 23, because of the loving devotion of the Lord, we are not consumed, for his mercy never fail. They that the day are new morning, great is your faithfulness. And that's what you see. A lot of faith is growing. And the jakes that are spread out through the four corners of the planet Earth. Yahweh Shem Yahshua is giving this spirit back to us. It's not the spirit that we chose to have, that we want to have. It's the spirit that was given to us. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua is making good on his promise. This is the book of Hosea 2 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and lead her to the wilderness and speak to her tenderly. And that's what Yahweh Shem Yahshua has done to us, man. He spoke to us tenderly, like, hey, this is what I want. I want the best for you. It's a motivational type of speech. It says, there I will give back her vineyards and make the valley of Achor a gateway to hope. It says there she will respond as she child in the day of their youth, as in the day that they came out of Egypt. So the main point is Yahweh Shem Yahshua has given us this truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to push, to enjoy, and to exalt. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua is getting ready to magnify this thing on a big level, man. All right, so it's a beautiful thing to watch, a beautiful thing to be a part of. And it's had to bring that quick lesson out, man. The lesson, the covenant is probated, okay? And remember, so if you don't know what probate is, let's do this. We'll read what the definition of probate is. God. It says probate, the last will and testament, as a formal term of legal document that outlines how a person, property, or assences should be dispersed after their death. Essential is not documented. See? But that's the main point, man. All right, so with that, I want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Machach, Radas. Until next time, I say shalom and more, and I'll never keep in. Shalom.